Nadine again. So second time I am recording a video with this group. Any recommendations that you want to see change? Always welcome. You can email me Nadine at nadinenelan.com.eu if you want to see change. Talking about change. So I'm making this video. If you're new to my, what should I say? If you're new to what I talk about in my other videos, around the new moon, I have this habit that I created many years ago. I was still living in Belgium and I had a highly stressed job. I personally thought that I had made it in the world, like I had the nice Mercedes 4-wheel drive that I always wanted, the 500 SCC. I had my own office floor, just a simple office. I had my own floor in the building with the separate meeting and everything just for me. I was considered successful, I was the only woman in the Federation of Directors in shipping and shipping agency in Antwerp. Like I really could say, okay, I've done things and here I am. And I was driving to work and often I was just crying and being really unhappy. And I'll go out for lunch and then eat too much, drink too much, often with clients, which is kind of normal if you have that job in those days in that industry. You always are out and about. You always having long lunches with lots of alcohol. And this is how life is. But I felt I was not fulfilling my purpose. And then I remembered that I had been in Australia in 97 and the freedom that I had felt, the spaciousness, because Belgium is a small country and Australia was big. So like, oh, and it gave me a feeling of freedom to be there. And I loved the temperature. I wanted to move to a warmer climate and have sea not too far away with not too many people on the beach. So yeah, that's what I did. I started using the new moon each time when there was a new moon. There's 12 every year. So Wednesday, this is the first one. That's the exact date here. We'll have it on the 29th in the evening. So it's going to be everywhere on the 29th. Whether you're in London, New York, or here, it's always going to be on the 29th. Here in the evening, there will be very early morning. So you can do it any day around time. It doesn't have to be exactly at the hour. You can even start 2 days before, 2 days later, but it's when you still feel that energy of the new moon. It's when often the seeds are planted, like harvesting is at the full moon, when anything to plant is at the new moon. It'll grow faster, it'll grow really nice, and it's the time where you also plant the seeds to the change you want to make in your life. This is a time where you get clear. You have that clarity. What do I actually want in my life? Is it that Mercedes? Is it the people, looking up at me because such and such? Or do I want to be happy? For me, what was important was to have space, lots of space, animals. I had no longer time for horses and my dog had died. So I had no longer any animals around me. I had no relationships anymore. And the ones I had were not really recommendable. Then I wanted to be in a nice relationship with somebody else, where you interact with each other and have then horses and dogs and whatnot, all these property, maybe my own chickens and have more time available to go deeper, to really go and feel the country, meditate, connect to the higher self, do things at my own time, and not always you have to do this and you have to perform here. And how's that going? Show me that. Show me all your coefficients of how you are performing. So that I just didn't want that anymore. And I thought one step at a time. First step, I do want to move to Australia, other side of the world. And I used the new moon technique a lot. And the first lady who taught me the basic techniques, that was Yasmin Boland. She has the term called Moonology. She created that term, and I've always buy her book, Moonology. It's their diary. This is a 2025 one. And then I'll look up where she will tell you where the new moon is, what is like the first one, Aquarius, the keywords, powerful words, luck is in the air, second chance is inspiring love. So she writes down those keywords, and then there's a separate page where you can write down, okay, what do I want to see change? Can I make an affirmation out of that? What am I going to do about it today, next week? And what's the other one? Today, next week, next 24 hours, in the coming week, and in a month ahead, because you got a month until the next one. The next one will be in Pisces. My son, I have 5 planets in Pisces, so party time. So take time, just sit down and say, okay, I have now, because this is actually the best time to start the year ahead. And the Chinese people are starting New Year always on the first new moon of the year, which makes sense, because then you go to 12 cycles, to all 12 signs, until you end up to the last sign. So starting with Aquarius, think about powerful words, maybe a word for the year. Is there something that will help you? You can write it out in big, put it, I have also expressions always here. I can look at it and go, oh yeah, I identify with that. Don't make it too far out that you go, oh, that's never going to happen. Make it something that you feel comfortable with. A bit out of your comfort zone. Always go a bit out of your comfort zone, but don't make it, nearly really pie in the sky thing, because then you will just get upset about it. So find a nice word and close your eyes and think, okay, where do I want to be a year from now when these 12 start again? How do I want to feel? And go into that. And what do I need to feel that way? What is it needed for me? Do I need more sleep? Do I need to eat less sugar? Do I move my body more? I need to change jobs, relationship. It could be anything. And then visualize yourself in that situation and feel the feeling of that wish fulfilled, but write it down. You could make like a separate Google document on your computer if you like to work off paper, or get a nice book like I got this one that I use for business, but I also use the planners from, she also actually talks about the new moon. Daniela Ford, she has 9 planners where I will put in, okay, this is what I'm working on. This is it's coming down. And then you put that all into the new moon wishes. 2 weeks from now, I'll make another video, and then we're going to do the release. When it's full moon, that's when you forgive, you release, you let go. Full moon, our bodies feel full, because the moon makes the water levels rise, and we have a lot of water in our body. So we feel a bit like we're going to explode. So that's when we're going to let go. And now is when we dream, create, go, oh yes, wouldn't that be amazing? And look at it that way. Wouldn't that be amazing? That or something better. Because you have to make space, for the universe, for something better. I wasn't specific when I said Australia. I didn't go specifically, oh, it needs to be there or there, but I just wanted a warmer climate. So I said, warmer climate, and I ended up found this job in Brisbane. It still took me a year to get it all sorted out, and then I could come to Brisbane, which was for me a city. This is 20 years ago. I fell in love with it. It smelled like jasmine. The people were so nice. There was this freedom and modern, and it had a beautiful view. I lived on the 17th floor looking over the river. And I moved several times in that period, but it was just this gradual, like I hadn't said, this is what it needs to be. I still had to do a lot of work though, because I I had managed to do the outside, but then little by little, I had to do more and more inner work. Because even moving to the other side of the world with 2 suitcases, Call Marie, eat your heart out, there's nothing else that I took with me. I realized after 3 months, I had rearranged the deck chairs on the Titanic. My ship was still sinking because I stayed in the same industry. And because of my experience in convention cargoes and projects, I got a job in that same industry. I no longer had the office on my own. I had to share office. Here, everybody sits on the same. So that was hard coming in. People thought I was a spy. I was the only one who could understand everyone. There were a lot of foreigners working there. But my first language is Dutch. Now, someone from Holland, so I could understand what he said. Then French was my second language, being Belgian. There were 3 French people. And then I always worked for German companies, so I was still German. And there were like 8 Germans in the office. I understood them. And I was sitting next to a Spanish girl. And in school, I learned Spanish, so I could understand what she said. Not like she was speaking fast to my mom. I could just know there was a lot of swearing happening, but she could really too fast. But I speak a basic Spanish. I get along and I can follow what a conversation is about. So they all thought, oh, that's a spy. And they tried everything to get rid of me by holding back my working permit so I couldn't start working. I had to go every day into the office and sit there and do nothing for 3 months, not being paid, but I had saved up. So it was a bit the stress because I was like, I'm going to stay here. And every month I'm doing my new moon wishes. And it was hard. 20 years ago, internet wasn't what it is now. It wasn't around everywhere. You often had to pay for it. I had a BlackBerry, so that was a bit more for emailing and all that. It was the beginning of Skype. I remember Skype, but then the hours. Whenever it's day in Europe, it's night here. You have a better correlation with the States than with Europe, where you have between 10 and 12-hour difference. It's just, and you don't know anybody, in this new country. So again, new languages, but it's one of the tools. But I found it helped me a lot. One day, it was about 10 years before I moved to Australia, I was doing them on a piece of paper separately. And I made this drawing. I'm always drawing, so I always have colored pencils here. I'm drawing a horse in commission at the moment as well. And so I'm drawing something that I see. And I see a palm tree in this corner of the roof and a pool. And I'm lying there and there's a dog. Years later, when the first time I moved to the Sunshine Coast, it was a beautiful modern house in Martinia. And I'm lying there and I'm looking up, and down on me was you. I'm thinking, I got that drawing because I had kept the drawing. I had this book where I kept in my, what do you call it? Like a board, visual board. Visual always helps. I went and got it, and I go, this is it. I knew 10 years ago, I manifested to being here, lying here, reading your book, and, and I kept using it. So today, I tell you, this one has very positive alignments. There's some lucky breaks, thanks to Jupiter alignment, Venus, Neptune, big Romans to the air. So if you want to wish around relationships, and make sure your partner, she says, is a good one, because Neptune can be a bit deceptive. It can be blissful, but deceptive. And make sure to take action. Yeah, I think that's about it. Write it all down, visualize it, turn in affirmation. Yeah, she says that basically. I just read it. So Yasmin Boland, if you want to order the book, you can get them anywhere, I think. Oh, it's Hay House, actually, who publishes them. Moonology, 2025. Okay, that's it. Bye for now, and talk soon. Oh, don't forget to like my video if you've seen this on YouTube or on Facebook. Any questions, emails welcome. Nadine@nadinellen.com.au.